Hey everybody, it's Anna. Time for our final card in this week's tarot story. So today we have the Seven of Cups reversed. I think we had this card last week. So as I said before, the number 7 I connect to discernment or making wise choices. And cups are connected to the heart. They're about following your intuition, connecting with others, and also feeling emotionally fulfilled and happy, right? So this card shows a man facing 7 cups. They're floating in the air. Each one has a gift, and his task is to pick the one he wants. Each of these gifts represents an opportunity or a path, and he's supposed to pick which one he wants. And because these are cups, he needs to follow his heart, trust himself to follow his feelings, just move forward and pick the one that feels the most sparkly, the most magical, right? So when the card is reversed, it can suggest to me that we are having a hard time trusting ourselves. We're second guessing our own intuitive nature. So our mind it's supposed to be a heart decision, an intuition decision, but the mind is like running through all the possibilities, the pros and cons. And every time the heart makes a decision, the mind's challenging whether it's the right decision or not. So the mind is basically interfering here and was really essentially an intuitive task. I think this makes sense if we look at it in the context of the tarot story this week. We started with the 2 of Cups reversed, and we talked about how that 2 is about that rooting in stage where we're digging our roots into the ground. And in this case, we're digging the roots of our heart, our intuition into the ground. And we do that by letting somebody else see us as we are and nurture us and support us. So the reversal suggests to me that maybe we're not getting the nurture we need, maybe because we're not really fully sharing ourselves with that other person. Whether that's a friend or a lover or just someone who loves you, and you're hiding, you're holding something back because your mind is telling you it's not safe. Even though you may really genuinely feel this person loves you, your mind is blocking your ability to be your full self because it has a story or a belief that you are not safe when you let your guard down. And we talked this week about looking at where the mind is guarding, whether these old stories that are just made up stories that your mind has that are responding maybe to pain, to struggles in the past, that's not unprocessed pain. And so your mind's made up a story about it. And the truth is, what we really need to do is kind of just process the pain and move on so the mind can write a new story. So if we are not able, as the 2 of Cups reverse suggested, if we are not able to get the nurture we need and our heart's able to feel really stabilized and supported, then when it comes to making a decision, we're not ready to do it, or at least the mind is interfering. So once again, we have the question of, can we figure out what the mind is distracted by? The mind is distracted by a story or an idea. And if the mind's very stubborn about holding on to a story or an idea, it is because there is some kind of pain point attached. Something bad happened, something painful happened at one point in our lives, and we did not have the space to process it then. It's still alive. That pain is still alive, and the mind is still circling around that pain, trying to stop it from happening again. And that's why the mind has this strategy in place. It's like, oh, well, this happened before, so we're not going to do it again. And that story is not a real story, but it is based on a real experience that needs to be processed. And that could be what's tripping us up here, that when our heart's ready to move, the mind is distracted enough by this pain point that it's stopping us. And the truth is, if you're in pain, you need to take care of it. If you have a live pain point from when you're younger, we do want to heal it and clear it because it is sapping your energy. It is sapping your strength. There is something, it's like if you plant that seed in the ground, but it doesn't have proper water or enough nutrients in the soil, it will be thwarted in its growth. That could be what's happening here. So if your mind is still like interfering with this process, turning this upside down, it's really worth your time to figure out why the mind is so reactive so that you can release it. Because it can eventually, you can sometimes push your way forward when your mind's fighting you, but eventually this will become a limitation on how far you can expand. This pain points create limitations, so we want to get rid of them when we find them. So that's my suggestion for you today. See you next time. Bye.